Hey folks, welcome back to the vlog. My name is Brackin.
I'm Lindsay, and this is Tiny Notes from Home.
We hope to challenge, encourage, and inspire you on your journey with Jesus, for He is the way, the truth, and the life. And on our journey this week, we are finally getting started on renovating this 100-year-old mountain farmhouse.
And we're going to share with you how we stay sane while we manage our busy family schedule.
So welcome to season 6 of the vlog. We're so excited for you guys to be with us here today. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know we'll get into our content as quickly as possible. But for those of you that are new around here, let me give you 30 seconds of context to catch you up on where we are in our story.
We are the Kirkland family. We have 6 boys. We homeschool and homestead in the North Carolina mountains. On our channel, you can expect just encouragement for your faith and practical tips for your family.
We have a home recording studio where we create the music of Sounds Like Rain. We just released a new song from our Silo Sessions album, and we will release a new Silo song every 3 weeks throughout the winter. But if you can't wait, the whole album is available for free download on our website.
We live in a 100-year-old mountain farmhouse. A brother from our church community owns the house, and we are fixing it up in exchange for our rent.
We've lived in this house for a year and a half now, and we're just getting into a major renovation project. We're a busy family, so please join us for the rest of the journey. Thanks for watching.
We love you.
We love you.
Good job. What do you have to say? Yeah, you're a special boy. Yeah. Okay, so we've heard from all the boys, but let's get into this project and share some time management tips for you and your family. Lindsay, what are we busy with around here?
We are busy with raising our boys, home life, homeschooling, raising animals, working on this house renovation, lots of music, managing the studio, running 2 YouTube channels, not to mention our local church, and just all of our friends and family.
That makes me busy just thinking about all of it.
Yeah, it's a lot of things to do.
But we're blessed.
We are.
And how do we manage all of that? How do you manage it as a mom?
I guess I just try to keep at the forefront of my mind the short time that I have on earth in light of eternity, and what do I want to be doing in that short time? How do I want to be training and teaching my children? What, everlasting things am I instilling into their lives?
That's right. So we're going to explore some of that with you guys now and share some of our time management strategy. We'll give you 5 tips that you can take and use in your own family, in your own home. All right, I'm going to step outside here for just a moment to give you guys some perspective on this house that we're living in currently. Far off in the distance is our Pilgrim Road recording studio. Over here in the house, it's kind of broken up into 3 main sections. The center section is where you normally see us in the living room in the vlog. To the left here, we have the kitchen and a bedroom above. And to the right here is a wing of the house that we have actually not even touched yet. It's a complete work zone and a disaster, but that is what we're going to be getting into here shortly. And the reason I'm sharing this with you gets to our first tip, which is perspective. Our life indeed is short, and there are so many things that we can do with our time, but we should really seek the Lord and ask Him to help us prioritize using His wisdom and say, Lord, what is it that you want to do in my life to make a meaningful impact for your kingdom? We can't do it all. And as we seek the Lord, He will show us and help us sort out what is important to Him. And it's the foundation of all these other principles that we're going to share with you. As I step into this old house, you can see from the inside what I was showing you outside. This is the third of the house that contains the kitchen and a bedroom upstairs. And then this is the middle of the house that is the living room. And behind me here, behind this wall, is that far wing of the house that we have not addressed yet. Lindsay, how do you feel about getting this kitchen renovation started?
So yes, I am really excited to get this kitchen project started. But before we can do that, we actually have to start upstairs. We have to jack up this ceiling. The ceiling is really low and it's bowed. And so that's going to require us to move out of our upstairs bedroom over into that scary part of the house, which will become our bedroom. And once we get that all finished, then we can come back over here and start jacking all this up, fixing the floor, and the kitchen renovation project can begin. But that probably won't be completed until roughly April.
And that leads me to tip number 2, which is to determine your goals. As we start to think about planning this house project, for example, we can't really know how to divide up our time unless we know what our goals are. So we spend a lot of time thinking through all the moving parts. Now that we have a deadline set for this project, we can work backwards and say, hey, what do we need to do to get to that point? Set a goal, set a deadline, and work toward it with all your might. Uh-oh, what happened?
He's ready to go to bed.
Night-night, little snuggle. All right, Lindsay's putting the baby down for a nap, and we're going to take you into what we call the scary room in the house. Normally, I would take you right through here. This connects to the scary room, but we've put up a temporary foam wall to separate that portion of the house. So, in order to get there, boys, let's go around outside, and we'll take you into the scary room. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so it's not terribly scary, but we literally have had this portion of our house kind of boarded off for about 1.5 years now. We haven't used it at all. This will become the master bedroom. As you can see, the ceiling is very, very low. The whole thing is dirty and the floor is falling in places. Lindsay, is this a crazy idea?
No, it's not a crazy idea. It's a great idea to make this place better.
Well, it can't be crazy because this is what we have to work with. We are very blessed, even though this house needs a lot of work. It's such a blessing.
It looks overwhelming, but I think once we get into it, it's going to make sense.
I think we have our work cut out for us, but that leads me to tip number 3, which is to break your time management down into larger and smaller chunks of time. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Step in here to what will be our master bathroom. If you look at your whole life in one large chunk, you're going to be overwhelmed by it. So we've broken our life down into annual chunks, monthly chunks, weekly chunks, and daily chunks. Chunks, that's a funny word. Maybe I shouldn't use it. What should I say instead, Lindsay?
Portions.
Portions, sections, blocks, whatever the case may be. Sorry, that made me laugh. Our annual schedule looks like what in terms of homeschooling and just kind of overall flow?
Well, this year we have, what I'm looking at is how we're breaking up our homeschooling. So we're pretty much doing year-round schooling and taking 4 seasonal breaks, about 3 weeks each time.
And from a studio and ministry perspective, we say, okay, for 2021, we want to accomplish 1 album or 2 albums, or we want to go on tour. So we set those large goals, those large projects on an annual time frame, and we try to plan that a year in advance so we can, again, work backwards from there. On a monthly level, things look a little bit differently though, don't they?
Monthly, yes, they do.
Okay, for our monthly chunk, let me step over into this small side room. Oh, I gotta step through all the junk. This will become a little nursery maybe for some of the babies. So as we look at our monthly schedule, I don't know how much of this information will be useful to you because it's very specific to me. But for the sake of example, I break our month into 4 weeks, and I know for sure that I need to work at least 1 week around the property to help pay for the rent. We pay with a combination of labor and cash. Another week out of the 4 I spend in the studio. I use that time to record a song, a music video, and a vlog. That's a large portion of who we are and what we do as part of our family ministry and outreach. And then the other 2 weeks of the month, I leave as open or flex weeks where I can work off-site. The boys and I can do other things around the house that need to happen. We take care of the gardens. and errands and all the normal things of life. Granted, our life will look very different than yours. I'm a work-at-home dad, and Lindsay is a stay-at-home mom. So how this applies to you, I'm not sure. But take whatever you can from this monthly perspective and see how you can work it into your own situation. And that gets me down to the weekly schedule. Lindsay, what are you most excited about in this new bedroom?
Lots of things. I'm excited about having a bathroom in the bed, connected to the bedroom, and all the closet space. It's gonna be nice.
I'm excited about the wood stove.
Yes, that too.
There's a giant stone chimney that is right in our bedroom, so that's cool.
Okay, so as far as the weekly schedule, we basically are doing school Monday through Friday, and the boys have chores they do each day as well.
You also have an errand day each week.
I usually go
Which
out
is helpful.
once a week for groceries and everything else we need.
Okay, also on our weekly schedule, we try to set aside 4 different Saturday activities for the family. We spend one Saturday of the month doing like outreach, where we go volunteer somewhere with the boys. Another Saturday of the month we try, although we haven't been good at it, we try to rehearse music as a family together. A third Saturday we do like a recreation opportunity, and then on the 4th Saturday we leave open for any overflow activities that might need to happen. So that is our weekly schedule. Lindsay, let's step inside and tell them about our daily schedule before we get on to tip number 4. All right, so what does your daily schedule look like on an ongoing basis? I know it changes and it's flexible, but generally what are we trying to accomplish?
Well, generally it's wake up and eat breakfast and do chores, and then we jump into school. Try to get school done before lunch, and then after lunch usually we would have some sort of special project or chores that the boys need to do, and I try to kind of just separate out for my week like goals that I have or projects I want to work on, things I want to get done in the kitchen or around the house, and just break those into days throughout the week.
Thanks, Mom. So right now I'm going to jump into some demolition work with the boys to see how we can fix up this wall over here. We'll get back to tip number 4 with you in just a moment.
That's just tearing the whole floor up.
Forrest, what do we have here?
We just tore up the floor, part of the floor, so it's right down on the ground. This is just the earth.
And we have like a 100-year-old locust beam
Yeah.
holding up the house.
Yep.
That looks like it needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
Who's gonna do it?
Me?
One of us is.
Yeah.
Forrest, what are you doing under there?
Just cleaning it out. Getting all the insulation and all the junk out from under there.
So yeah, every house project has its surprises, and we didn't intend to get into this portion of the house, but because of an existing roof leak and some rotten wood, we're just going for it. So today is kind of an exploratory demolition day, isn't that right, boys?
Yeah.
We're digging stuff out, and we're seeing what type of work we have ahead of us, which leads me to tip number 4. And tip number 4 is what?
To set yourself up for success.
That's right. So in this project, in order for us to be successful, Forrest, what do you think are the steps that we need to take in order to make this project work?
Well, probably just like finishing demoing the entire room so that we can know what materials we need to use to piece it back together and fix it up. So we just gotta get all the materials and come back and start putting it back together.
So there's a lot of steps before we can even really get started.
Yeah.
And that doesn't just go for a house project. I know a lot of you aren't renovating a house right now, and that would be totally irrelevant to you. But as you think about other aspects of your life, if you have a family business, if you have, well, homeschool or outreach projects or other ministry opportunities, don't just assume you can show up and make it happen without planning in advance and setting yourself up for success. What are you guys doing?
Just organizing our workspace so it's easier to get to the tools and stuff.
What's the point of that?
We're setting ourselves up for success.
All right. It's getting a little bit cold out here.
Yeah.
So why don't we head inside and we'll listen to tip number 5 from Lindsay. All right, so we'll show you more of the house renovation as it comes along in the coming weeks, and we'll have more spiritual insights for you as well. But right now, we're gonna call it a day because it's getting cold outside and we need to check in with Lindsay for tip number 5, which is what, my lovely?
Tip number 5 is take time to pray. There are many times we're so focused on productivity. What are the things I need to do today? And that can be overwhelming, but if we remember to take time to stop and pray, and just to pray throughout our day as we're working, God will meet us there and He will help us, and it's just a very important thing to remember.
I'm the productivity manager, you're the prayerful person, so we make a good team. In fact, recently I have started setting a prayer alarm on my phone for 9 a.m., noon, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. just as a reminder throughout the day to stop and pray. And I want to remind you to come before the Lord in your heart and in your mind, to surrender yourself to Him, to take all of your cares to the cross, to trust in His sacrifice for our sins, and to allow Him to change us into His image. Please take this moment to press into the Lord once again, or perhaps for the first time. And with that, Lindsay, we are going to close. Shall we say goodbye to the boys?
Let's say goodbye to the viewers and with the boys.
All right, boys, come on. So go out, make a difference, and serve the Lord with all your heart. We love you guys. You can head on over here and watch our latest Silo Sessions video. Also, if you didn't see last week's or last month's vlog, it's here for you to enjoy as well. Thanks for watching.